It's me, Sailor Moon. Oh, my mistake. Hi, it's me, Jordan Long. Ha ha. Why did I make a mistake and call myself Sailor Moon for? Well, I am a Sailor Moon follower. So anyway, but that's not the grounds of this film. So the grounds of this film is that there are folks out there about this whole, this whole WW. Well, first off, it is about WWE. So I should have made this film way back then, but I didn't make it. So you have on one side WWE, and then on the other two sides you got IW and AEW, and on so and on so. Now, everyone is going to say that, oh, well, there's some on some side that behave some way, and there's some on the other side that behave this way. Each side is guilty of fucking with the other side. Yeah, in which ways? You know, everyone has their thought and belief on WWE, IW, and AEW. You know, so it is what it is. So I always I end up bringing it up with some of my friends. And usually, this is how it usually comes down like. Now, IW and AEW are small wrestling businesses offshoot. They might be owned by folks that have a lot of gout. But at the end of the day, they're just a small wrestling business offshoot that at the end of the day, it's not at the end of the day isn't truly going to shift anything as far as wrestling goes. This whole thing about us fighting WWE is just it's getting old. I mean, IW's done it for about 8 between years, and AEW for 9 months, and it's getting old. This whole at this time, both sides are just going to have to say they can't bring down WWE, and if that was their goal, well, they got to get a new goal. And there's always going to be, I bring this up with one of my friends, is always like, so what do you think about this whole IWAW stuff? What do I think of it, Jordan? I think it's sad. Not that they're in the wrestling business, but sad that IW and AW, their whole selfhood, is all about fighting WWE, about seeking to take down WWE. Oh, we're going to beat WWE. With what? With dolls? Yeah, I wish IW doesn't have any dolls anymore, and AEW says they have them, but I never saw them. With what? Wrestling? WWE does wrestling too, so I don't see how these two sides are going to do it. Oh, with name calling, making fun of, offshooting everything WWE does, or at least knocking it off. In some folks' belief, yeah, we all know that's going to work. So you don't think that IW or AEW is ever going to beat WWE? No. IW's been around for 8 between years, and now AEW's only been around for 9 months, and neither side's going to bring down WWE. I don't care what Dixie Carter or Shao Kahn say about it. At the end of the day, their wrestling businesses aren't going to beat Vince McMahon. Yeah, I know there's going to be folks saying, oh, well, Dixie Carter and Shao Kahn have more gout than Vince McMahon. Wow, good for them then. Ted Turner had a lot of more gout than Vince McMahon back in the day too, and I didn't mean he was going to beat Vince McMahon. So all these folks that say that, that's just like whatever. It's like good for them. If you watch IW and watch AEW, they're just doing the same thing that almost every small wrestling business does. And this is what the WWE haters, the ones that love IW and AEW, say is going to beat WWE. Oh, look at them, they're doing this. Look at that, they're doing that. You know? But at the end of the day, neither side is, they're not going to bring down WWE. It's not going to happen. You know? And this whole, this whole beating WWE thing is getting old. You know, it's not funny anymore. If that was IW's goal or AEW's goal, well, it's not happening. You're right. It's not happening. IW will never ever come out and say we can't beat WWE. They've had us beat for eight between years. AEW will never come out and say we can't beat WWE. They've had us beat for 9 months. Because you know why? Because they would lose almost all their followers they got, except for the true ones out there. But they would lose a lot of them. They would lose the ones that jump to them believing that they are doing something at WWE. They would leave them. They only went to IW and AEW since IW and AEW told them that they were going to beat WWE and do what they always wanted. And if IW and AEW come out and say we can't beat WWE, then those followers that hate WWE will just leave and go somewhere else. Their trust is only as good as someone else can act, as long as someone can actually until someone else comes out and says the same thing. And let's be earnest about it. The AEW is just the offshoot of IW. You know? It was just Shao Kahn's offshoot of Dixie Carter's. So at the end of the day, their trust is only as good until somebody else comes along. And the only grounds to why AEW isn't got backing it got because it said the same shit that IW said 18 between years before that. And I stand behind all that. Yeah, I do stand behind all that. My belief is that the only grounds to why AEW isn't got the followers it's got is because they go around saying all the same shit and doing all the same shit that IW did 8 between years before them. And if it wasn't for that shit, they wouldn't have gotten the followers I believe they gotten. And if some IW and AEW follower thinks I'm being mean or says I'm fighting them, well, I have my thought and belief on IW and AEW. You can say whatever you want to say about WWE. You can scathe WWE all you want. But at the end of the day, that's not going to do nothing to me. You know? Why should I be frightened about giving my thought and belief of AEW and IW? Because someone might say, "Oh, Jordan, you're one of those mean WWE followers. Oh, you don't onlook someone else's thought and belief." I do onlook others' thoughts and beliefs. And if someone wants to watch IW or AEW, well, good for them. But I do have the right to give my thought and belief on it. And my thought and belief is IW and AEW are only as big as they are since the followers that join them, since the followers that own, that's a French bar word, since the followers who came to them are only following them and trusting them since they've been saying for 8 between years and 9 months we're going to beat WWE by name calling, making fun of, and offshooting everything they do. And if they didn't do any of that shit, those two wouldn't have the following ship they have. At least that's my thought and belief. I'm Jordan Long, and I'll see you later.